Hello, you wonderful people, and welcome to another episode of Nerd Mode. This being a show I introduce you to a series that you may or may not be familiar with. For today's episode, I'm going to talk about the CW original series, In the Dark. Like always, this isn't a review, it's just me talking about a series that I really like that I recommend you check out for yourself. In the Dark is a comedy mystery crime drama that follows a blind young woman named Murphy. Tragedy strikes for Murphy when her friend Tyson is murdered. Murphy, feeling like no one is doing enough to solve Tyson's murder, Murphy takes it upon herself to start investigating and trying to bring the killer to justice. However, Murphy doesn't go it alone, as she unintentionally and intentionally ends up dragging her best friend Jess, as well as their friend slash not friend slash co-worker Felix, into this whole investigation. Other characters get thrown into the mold of the story. That includes the detectives investigating it, like Dean. Well, there are other detectives who get introduced later on. Then you have Darnell, who was Tyson's cousin, as well as Max, who's a money launderer that works with Darnell. Which, speaking of Max, the whole him and Murphy thing, that ends up being a very, very complicated thing as the series ends up progressing. But like any good mystery, while Murphy is investigating Tyson's murder, she ends up discovering and unraveling many dark secrets and facets surrounding Tyson's case. The main characters always have a tendency to find themselves in very bad situations, and anytime an opportunity arises for the situation to get better or worse, almost every time things tend to get worse. And it's not usually just one thing. When the dominoes fall, they usually set multiple things in motion. And the question you're constantly asking yourself is, how is the gang going to find their way out of this one? It's not always the smoothest nor easiest way, let alone the way you think things might get resolved, but the gang has a tendency to kind of fumble their way through every situation. What I think is sad about that too is that obviously this series starts with Murphy having the best of intentions. She just wants to get justice for her friend. But rarely do things go exactly the way she wants them to, and without spoiling it, let's just say things spiral way out of control. Speaking of Murphy, she is a really interesting protagonist because, for lack of a better term, she's kind of a mess. And not just like the way she goes about living her life, just kind of her personality too. She can be very mean, snarky, and sarcastic. I mean, sometimes she could just straight up be an asshole. All of which is kind of her defense mechanism in how she deals with everything, whether it be her blindness, her relationships, just her general outlook on the world, as well as the way she treats people. The shenanigans and deadly situations that she has a tendency to drag people into usually ends with her making people do things her way. As I mentioned before, things have a tendency to spiral way out of control, and let's just say Murphy plays a major role in things ending up that way. The series has a lot of fun to it, like the aforementioned shenanigans, but the show also can lean into the serious elements as well. It does a really good job of keeping a very tense atmosphere at times because you never know just when the other shoe is going to drop. Season 4 of In the Dark premieres on June 6th. Sadly, the CW has canceled this series, so this upcoming season will inadvertently be its final season. But really, that's all I want to talk about. Till the next time we meet, be happy, be safe, live life to the fullest, and enjoy it. Good day, and goodbye.